Would the Boston Celtics survive a long Jrue Holiday absence in the playoffs? That's the question echoing through NBA circles as Boston fights to keep its title hopes alive. In a league where the margin for error is razor thin and the intensity climbs with each round, losing a player like Holiday is the kind of blow that can take down even the most dominant favorite, Jrue Holiday.
So, how's Jrue doing at this point? Missing a third straight game today. Is this helping him concerned with him?
Just doing everything he can to come back. He's day to day, and he's doing everything he can to put himself in a position and be a little bit better the next day.
With Jalen, he's been on injury report the last handful of games here. He's been able to play through. What's that process been like for him, and how is he doing at this point, having been on injury report for a few games here?
I mean, he's taking care of himself, doing everything he can. I think that's the thing about both those guys, really, is they'll do anything they can to put themselves in a position to play. Jalen's been doing that. It's been great for us. Keep doing that.
Who had stood out with commanding performances in Games 1 and 2 against the Orlando Magic, was forced to sit out the next 3 games due to a right hamstring strain, even though he traveled with the team to Orlando, fueling speculation about a possible Game 3 return. He was ruled out well in advance for both Games 4 and 5. His absence, the absence of one of the NBA's top defenders, didn't just shift Boston's rotation. It exposed weaknesses few dared to imagine. In his weekly appearance on 98.5, the Sports Hub's Zolak and Bertrand show, head coach Joe Mazzulla shared an update on Holiday's condition, and while his words were laced,
So,
Anyway.
but what with Jrue? I mean, how concerned are you about Jrue?
I'm very concerned. Obviously he's walking around, he's on the bench, but we've got no reports, and usually the team has to release something, and they've done nothing. Now, that could be a good sign that it is truly a day-to-day injury.
with optimism, they also left a cloud of uncertainty hanging over the situation. He's day-to-day, said Mazzulla. He's working hard to get back. It helped that we closed the series quickly, so guys like him could have more time to recover. He's grinding, day in and day out, and he'll keep getting better. But will working hard be enough? Mazzulla doubled down on his belief in the veteran, saying that Jrue is a tough guy who will do whatever it takes to put himself and the team in position to win. Still, the coach made one thing clear: Holiday's health comes first. He'll also do what's best for himself, Mazzulla added. 5 days. That's the gap between now and Boston's next playoff test against either the relentless New York Knicks or the unpredictable Detroit Pistons. Will that be enough time for Jrue to return at full strength? Or are we about to see the Celtics limp into the second round, patching together makeshift solutions? In the meantime, the team has had to search quickly for answers in his absence. And the answers, while uneven, did come. One player who stood out was Peyton Pritchard. With grit and energy, Pritchard drew praise from both the coaching staff and veteran teammates. I felt like Peyton brought ball pressure and impact all series long. It was noticeable, said Al Horford. He tried to influence the game in every way he could. Peyton was crucial for us, but is Pritchard's contribution sustainable against tougher opponents? Can playoff experience in clutch moments truly be replaced by hustle and heart? Derek White raised an uncomfortable truth. You don't replace a defender like Jrue, White said in an interview with NBC Sports Boston. He does so much for us on the defensive end, but also as a playmaker on offense. Without him, everyone has to step up. And that's the real issue. Elevating the team's collective performance is necessary, yes. But the loss of a pressure-tested specialist like Holiday is a massive strategic setback. It's not just about defense. Jrue is the calming gear in the offense, the one who controls the tempo, the one who silences hostile arenas with a perfectly timed steal. So now the question lingers: can the Celtics win without their defensive anchor if needed? Or will this become the turning point that reveals just how much they relied on his presence? Would you like this expanded with more analysis or statistics about Jrue Holiday's impact in previous playoff runs? What no one expected was that the Celtics, even shorthanded, would manage to stay composed and defeat the Orlando Magic in what felt like a near-routine win. But what if the opponent had been a confident New York Knicks team or a Milwaukee Bucks squad hungry for revenge? The truth is, without Jrue Holiday, the Celtics lose more than just elite defense. They lose part of their identity. It's like watching an orchestra take the stage without its conductor right before the main performance. Holiday's injury also exposes a soft spot that few analysts dare to touch: roster depth. Yes, Boston has its stars: Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are elite-level talents. Derek White and Al Horford bring stability. But who carries the torch of silent leadership and relentless defense when the wheels start to come off? Who dictates the tempo in those closing minutes when the ball feels like it's made of fire? Is it fair to put that weight on Peyton Pritchard's shoulders? Or is it too much to ask Derek White to juggle even more responsibilities and risk, diminishing his offensive impact? And there's more. Joe Mazzulla's minutes management will be tested like never before. Without Holiday, he must find creative ways to balance the physical load on his guards. Increasing the minutes of White, Tatum and Brown might solve the issue in the short term, but it could come with a heavy price later on. Will Mazzulla learn from the mistakes of the past? Or are we about to see a repeat of 2023, when exhaustion reared its head at the worst possible time against the Miami Heat? Perhaps even more delicate is the discussion surrounding Holiday's actual physical condition. Even if he returns for the next series, will he truly be at 100%? And what if he comes back just to push through the pain, ultimately hurting both his own performance and the defensive structure of the team? Is it worth rushing him back in the name of urgency? Or would it be wiser to plan without him and hope for a miracle? The numbers tell the story. In the regular season, with Holiday on the court, the Celtics had a defensive rating of 109.3, among the league's best. Without him, that number jumped to a worrying 115.7. That's a massive difference, and in the playoffs, where every single possession can tilt a series, that becomes even more deadly. And let's not forget Holiday's experience in high-stakes moments. In 2021, he was a pivotal part of the Milwaukee Bucks' championship run, making clutch plays under immense pressure. Who could forget his iconic steal on Devin Booker in the finals against the Suns? A moment that perfectly encapsulates Holiday's ice-cold nerve and game-changing presence. Without him, the Celtics don't just lose talent, they lose steel nerves. But here's a provocative thought. Could Holiday's absence somehow unlock a new version of the Celtics' offense? Without having to share playmaking duties, could Tatum and Brown become even more aggressive scorers, tapping into new levels of dominance? Or would that just create more space for late-game mistakes and rushed decisions? These are the questions that must be asked and answered before it's too late. Amid this storm of uncertainty, one warning stands out. The Celtics' championship window won't stay open forever. Every season without a title is a blow to the dream of a modern dynasty. Every early exit is a harsh reminder that NBA success is fleeting. So what's coming next? With or without Jrue Holiday, the Boston Celtics will have to prove they are more than just a collection of talented individuals. They'll need to show they are a resilient, intelligent team, ready to face the unpredictable. And that, my friends, is something that can't be taught. It only reveals itself under maximum pressure. So I ask you, are they truly ready? Or are we about to witness, once again, Boston's potential slip through their fingers at the worst possible time? Is Joe Mazzulla really the right coach to manage injury crises in the playoffs? That's the uncomfortable question, almost a taboo among Celtics fans who, after the 2024 title, began treating Joe Mazzulla with reverence. But is that respect still justified when the team faces real adversity, like a major playoff injury? Take the rotation management without Holiday. It's been functional, but far from brilliant. Derek White is clearly overloaded. Peyton Pritchard is being relied upon more than expected, and players like Sam Hauser and Neemias Queta haven't been tested in varied situations, perhaps out of fear of disrupting the system's balance. But where's the line between tactical conservatism and plain fear? Another issue. Where are the creative adjustments? Instead of exploring new combinations, like giving Tatum more ball-handling duties or using Brown more as a secondary playmaker, Mazzulla has leaned heavily on safe formulas. But too much safety, especially in the playoffs, invites stagnation. And then there's the million-dollar question. What's the plan if Holiday returns at less than full strength? Will we see Mazzulla manage his minutes wisely or push him back into action as if everything's normal? There's a recent history of prioritizing the now over long-term consequences, like the excessive regular season minutes for Tatum and Brown in already decided games. So it's time to stop dodging the question. Is Joe Mazzulla truly the right coach to handle injury crises during a playoff series? Does he have the emotional intelligence, the strategic vision? Or are we watching a coach who, while competent, still needs a perfectly controlled environment to thrive?